Welcome back to the deep dive. So today we're looking at something pretty interesting in gaming, the expand-alone.
Right. That idea of a game that feels big like an expansion, but, well, it stands completely on its own.
Exactly. You don't need the original. And we're diving into Dying Light, the Beast, through Travis Northup's review.
Yeah, Northup really gets into what makes this one tick. Our goal here is, figuring out why it's enjoyable, even if it's not breaking tons of new ground.
And why it's maybe a good, stable entry point, which is kind of surprising.
Definitely. He clearly still likes the series, and the Beast gets praise for just working well, being polished.
So Northup seems clear that the core stuff, the parkour, the survival horror, it's all still there, right? That familiar feel.
Oh, absolutely. That foundation is solid, which, it has to be for this kind of release.
But if the core isn't radically different, what's the big hook? The main new thing?
That'd be the Beast mode.
Yeah.
That's the headline feature Northup focuses on.
Right, turning into a half man, half beast. Sounds wild. How does that actually play?
Well, you get these enhanced abilities, but it's tied to a rage meter.
Yeah.
So you charge it up by dealing damage or taking it.
Ah, okay. So it forces you to engage. You can't just hang back.
Exactly. It pushes you into the fight, and that ties directly into the new boss fights he mentions.
These big, infected enemies.
Yeah, powerful ones. Beating them is key, because it unlocks more abilities for your beast form. Makes you stronger.
Okay, that sounds like a cool loop. But did Northup have any issues with it?
He did point out that those boss fights, while cool initially, can start feeling a bit repetitive after a while.
Yeah, that can happen. Finding that balance, right?
It's tricky, especially for a shorter, focused experience like an expand-alone.
So moving from mechanics to story, Northup wasn't exactly blown away by the main plot. Calls it paper thin.
Yeah, pretty much. It follows Kyle Crane again, but it's mostly just a framework, a reason to go hunt those bosses and do the side stuff.
But the side quests, he actually liked those more.
That's what's interesting. He highlights them as being better written with characters that actually stick with you a bit.
So maybe that's a smart move for this kind of game. If the main story's light, pack the punch into smaller, self-contained side stories.
I think so. It gives you that engagement without needing a huge, sprawling narrative.
Yeah.
Fits the expand-alone model, focused impact.
And where is this all happening? The Valley of Castor Woods? What do you think of the world itself?
Okay, this was interesting. He actually praised the map for being smaller than previous games.
Really? Smaller is better.
His point was it avoids that feeling of huge, empty areas you just run through. It's more focused, less padding, which honestly sounds kind of refreshing.
Yeah, I can see that. Less downtime, more action. And technically, how did it run?
This was a big plus for Northup. He called it the most stable Dying Light game at launch. Minimal bugs, smooth performance.
That's huge. Especially for this series, which has had some rocky launches.
Definitely. So for you, the player, it means a much smoother experience right from the start. Less frustration.
Okay, so bringing it all together, who is this game for? Northup points out this kind of paradox.
Right. The story might actually be a bit confusing if you're a longtime fan trying to piece everything together.
But he still recommends it as a good starting point for newcomers. How does that work?
Well, that's the expand-alone magic, isn't it? It's self-contained enough, polished enough, and the core gameplay is strong enough that you can just jump in.
You don't need all the backstory to enjoy the parkour and the beast mode and the side quests.
Exactly. It lowers that barrier to entry. It's like, here's a solid chunk of Dying Light fun, easy to pick up.
So wrapping up, it sounds like a stable, enjoyable package. Got the cool new mechanic, good side content, polished performance. A surprisingly good entry point.
Yeah, pretty much sums it up. Solid, if not revolutionary.
Which leads to maybe a final thought here.
Right.
What does this kind of success, this expand-alone approach, suggest?
It's interesting to think about, right? If you can deliver a really satisfying, polished experience that's maybe smaller in scope than a full sequel, but still has a strong hook. It's like the beast mode here.
Exactly. Could that be a more common model going forward, balancing that familiarity fans like with just enough innovation, but in a more compact, maybe less risky package for developers?
A potential sweet spot between DLC and a massive sequel, something for us all to chew on.